A woman walks in for a battery and walks out with a four-figure estimate until she challenges the line items and the bill collapses. That's not a fluke. It's a system designed to turn small jobs into big invoices. In this video, an undercover mechanic breaks down the wallet flush and gravy work, how shops inflate labor time and pile on a high-margin maintenance. You'll hear the phrases techs use to trigger fear and the simple rebuttals that make them back down. By the end, you'll know how to demand proof and pay only for what your car actually needs. Before we move on, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and like the video. If the clock in the shop could talk, would it admit your car took half the time you were billed for? Let's talk about gravy work. It's the kind of job every tech recognizes, the easy wins. Simple tasks that go quickly with the right tools, yet they're charged at the full labor guide time. And it gets worse when overlaps stack. If one repair requires removing a part and a second repair needs the same part off, both get billed as if those steps happened twice. The work is real, the time isn't. Here's where the conflict starts. Most shops pay techs on a flat rate system. The book says a brake job pays, say, 1.5 to 2 hours. A skilled tech with good equipment might finish it in 20 to 30 minutes and still flag the full time. Beating the book makes money. You pay the book either way. That gap between actual time and billed time is the gravy. Now add a low-effort diagnosis that balloons into a sale. In an undercover test, a mass airflow sensor was unplugged on purpose. The car throws a code. The shop quotes a full diagnostic hour and recommends a new sensor. The tech plugs the connector back in, clears the code, and the car runs fine. That's the trap. The light creates urgency, and the process is built to turn a simple reconnection into billable time and parts. Labor time guides, flat rate manuals, fuel this, especially when policies around overlap are loose. These guides break jobs into steps with assigned minutes, but they often live in separate sections. Replace an alternator? Remove the belt. Replace a belt? Remove tension again. If a shop doesn't apply overlap credits, you get charged twice for removing the same belt once. It's like paying two movers because the same box appears on two lists. It looks tidy on paper, but the box still moved one time. This isn't just about the guides, it's about incentives. Commission structures and weekly quotas push everyone to maximize build hours and average repair order. Easy jobs, pads, rotors, belts, batteries, become revenue anchors. When a shop needs to hit a target by Friday, a 30-minute pad slap at full rate is the safest path. Then come the add-ons: hardware kits, rotor refinishing, belt treatment, each with their own minutes. None of this is illegal by itself. It becomes abusive when the time billed drifts far from the time worked and when overlaps are ignored. So how do you push back without getting confrontational? Make the estimate do the talking. Ask for op codes, the operation codes tied to each task, and the labor minutes for each line. Say you want overlap credits listed when parts removal is shared across jobs. If a belt comes off to replace an alternator, note it on both lines and ask them to show the deducted minutes. Request the labor guide they used by name and the time for your exact year, make, and engine. Shops that follow clean processes can print this easily. Shops that don't will start to round down when they know you're watching. On diagnostics, ask for the specific code, freeze frame data, and the step that verified the fault. If a reconnection fixed the issue, there's no component failure to bill. If they claim a sensor is bad, ask what test proved it: voltage, resistance, or a known good swap. The point isn't to argue, it's to demand evidence before time and parts get attached to your car. And keep this in mind: inflated time is only the first gate. The real profit often lands after you approve the initial service. That's when the while we're in there logic kicks in and the list grows. The next move is predictable, and it usually starts at the counter with a price you can't resist. What if the cheapest service on the sign is just the key that unlocks your wallet? That $39 oil change is the lure. The real action starts once your car is on the lift and a service advisor has a script. Low margin gets you in the door. High margin walks you to the register. That path has a name: the wallet flush. It's a step-by-step upsell sequence that takes routine visits and stacks add-ons that sound protective but deliver profit. Flushes, cleanings, conditioners, and, while we're at it, parts. Here's how it unfolds. After the oil is draining, the advisor appears with a checklist and a few props. A cabin air filter sealed in a zip bag looks surprisingly gray under the shop lights. You hear that your idiot light could come on any minute if you ignore a minor code. Fluids are declared burnt or contaminated without any lab test or specification. Each item is framed as low cost compared to a scary failure. Decline one and a backup option appears. Good, better, best. So there's always something to say yes to. Watch how a simple battery swap morphs. You authorize the battery. Now the test printout suggests the alternator is weak, so they recommend replacing it before you're stranded. If the alternator comes out, the belt should really be replaced to avoid squeal or slippage. A dirty throttle body affects idle, so they add a cleaning service. Since the car is already in the bay, they propose a transmission flush to protect the new load on the electrical system, which makes no technical sense but sounds cautious. Each step uses the same language. Prevent a comeback, avoid a tow, protect your investment. Independent testing and manufacturer schedules don't typically support that pace. Owner's manuals and publications like Consumer Reports often do not call for full transmission or power steering flushes at the interval shops push. Many vehicles specify drain and fill at longer mileage or condition-based checks rather than machine flushes. Brake fluid can be evaluated with moisture testers. Coolant condition can be verified with test strips or a refractometer. When the recommendation outruns the book, ask why their interval beats the one that designed the car. Sensor cleaning is another hotspot. Undercover calls show wide pricing for the same task. One shop sells a throttle body or MAF cleaning for a few $dozen as a quick spray and wipe. Another quotes hundreds or jumps straight to replacement without verification. The difference isn't the car, it's the sales model. A light dusting of residue becomes a paid service. A disconnected plug becomes a new component. Without proof, codes, freeze-frame data, and a test that isolates the fault, you're funding guesswork. Why the hard push? Sales quotas and commission. Advisors are measured on average repair order and close rates. That means the goal is not just fixing your car, it's lifting the dollar value of each visit. Low-resistance add-ons like flushes and cleanings are the easiest units to stack. Done right, it looks helpful. Done loosely, it drains your budget while changing little about reliability. Not all maintenance is fake. Belts crack, fluids shear, filters clog. The problem is timing and evidence. You need a way to separate must-do from make-believe while you're standing at the counter and the clock is ticking. Use a simple script that turns feelings into facts. Say, show me leak dye under UV, scan freeze frame and the exact code, the OEM interval for my engine, and any TSBs. Put it in writing with parts, labor minutes, and photos. If they claim fluid failure, ask for test strip results or moisture content. If they push a part, ask for the measurement or spec it failed. End with priorities. Safety critical items today. Everything else scheduled later after a second opinion. You now know the two engines that drive unnecessary bills, the clock and the cascade. Next, we'll flip the power dynamic so you set the terms before they touch a wrench. The scam isn't always a lie. It's leverage on time and fear. Your shield is documented proof and itemized labor. Ask for a written estimate that lists labor minutes and overlap credits for every operation, plus photos and scan data tied to your VIN. If it's not safety critical, pause and get a second opinion from a separate shop before you authorize anything. Make this routine on every visit. You'll see estimates shrink and the pressure tactics fade when evidence is required. Drop a comment with the last upsell you challenged and what changed when you asked for proof. Next video. 7 phrases that make a service writer change course.